unsubscribing.
We're gonna unsubscribe.
Yeah, that was my kill.
Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video, and today is not a day for excuses, it is a day for self-improvement. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch since my comeback a few weeks ago now, and I've been noticing a lot of things in my play that were very wrong when I started out as well, and I managed to jump up into Masters already, so I wanted to offer up a little bit of insight and hopefully help some of you guys out and we can rank up through this thing together. But I do mean no excuses, because I see a lot of them, and I've had loads of people throwing in my games. I've lost 5 games in a row just the other day, and I've also had people screaming down the mic at my team. But what I want to focus on today is how we can optimize our own play in order to gain rank. And I mentioned it last time, but I'll briefly say it again because we'll be going over mine. Watch your replays back. Because even if you know you made a mistake, like I did with this Lucio.
I'm sleeping, Weagle, what?
I got you, dude. I was just baiting you, don't worry.
I'm unsubscribing to your Overwatch.
There will also be a lot of mistakes you didn't realize you made, and there's going to be a lot of things you'll realize you could have done in certain situations. If you dove in and died and wondered where your team were and didn't come with you, well, the replays will make that very obvious very quickly. The first thing I want to look back at is this King's Row game, because I know where the Mei is because I've used Sonic Arrow like a clever boy. But as someone that apparently forgot how to aim, I managed to miss this kill on the Mei. And the reason I highlight this is because small plays like this can be the difference between you winning and losing your game. In this situation, we had a bit of extra time and I didn't die and she didn't wall off the tank. But these are the kind of plays I want you to look out for in your play, and if you think I miss any in this video, let me know. So we managed to get away with me whiffing this shot, and we move up a little bit to the point. I click a couple of heads, and then one thing I didn't realize when I was playing this game out is that the McCree hits a really big high noon here. And not only that, but just as the enemies are trying to kill him out of it, my Zarya hits a bubble on that McCree. These are two big plays that I hadn't even considered my teammates might have done. Now, as we try and push them back and we've got the point, you'll see that the Mei walls off Reinhardt, and this is where I throw out the fat dragon, we win the game, and I thought, yeah, that was all me. But when you watch this back, you can see the individual plays that everyone's trying to make, and then Mei almost makes a big play on us in order to win the game. The only real play that matters is going to be the one that wins or loses you the game, and in this situation, we might have lost if I didn't counter that with that dragon, or if that McCree and Zarya didn't combo to get 2 kills 10 seconds beforehand. I want you to get a friend to check back some of your games and have a look at how many of these misplays you might have made and how it could improve your game. So next up I want to talk about teammates, and there's a couple of things here, but the first one is learning to command the lobby. It's not an easy skill to learn, but I want you to check out this clip of where me and FREEDO managed to move the team around some high ground in order to counter the Bastion comp that does run rampant at a lot of ranks.
Right.
Stay on the high ground, stay on the high ground. Surround it. Oh, come to my left, Hog. Left. Come.
I'm gonna land a nade on it in when it goes around the corner.
I'm on the Bastion, he's low. Now the Mercy. Versus behind the cart. Versus gonna res it.
Being able to make short and concise calls like this for your teammates in the middle of the game is very difficult, especially on certain roles that you might be playing like DPS or a dive tank. But what we did here is very simple, and if we don't make these calls, well, you know how it goes. Someone will jump to cart and die and other people will follow suit. Yet just that tiny bit of positioning completely nullified the enemy team's comp and they had to swap off of it straight away. Now, another thing about this Dorado game here is that we did also pick around the team, which is something you'll also need to learn to do. But identifying when to do that is also important. We had a guy that really wanted to play Roadhog, Roadhog, so we decided we would play Orisa because Orisa and Roadhog hook combination is the strongest, most easily synergized thing in the game at the minute, so that's the strat that we went with. But even though I'm the worst Wrecking Ball player in the galaxy, if my team are all running DPS, I have been able to go Wrecking Ball in certain comps in order to create space for my team. Sometimes the games are going to be horrible and you are going to have a lot of DPS that maybe aren't very good, but being able to pick out them tiny things that you can do, whether it's shot calling, making one synergy pick with a teammate, or making that one big play that defines the game, is something you're going to have to do if you want to gain rank. It's just a part of how the system works in its current state. So now you're going to say, hey Weagle, I've tried these things, but some games my team really aren't gelling. Well, the only option that's left when that happens, and this is what the best players do, is mechanically outplay the enemy team and refine them decisions, just like whiffing that shot on the Mei. My own example of this is that FREEDO had pointed out my tracer play was abysmal. I was just walking into things like that Roadhog I showed earlier in the video, and that I needed to start practicing 180 blinking and being out of the enemy's line of sight in order to kill them and be a massive nuisance. Well, I did exactly that in this Li Jiang play. You can see that I'm all behind the enemy team, I'm building up my ult charge, no one can see me, therefore they can't kill me. I managed to stick the Orisa and we win out the whole point because of this play. Another even more direct and obvious version of this is when I was in Plat and we couldn't move the point on Gibraltar because no one would listen, no one would pick a team comp, and no one had any idea that you don't just ride the cart, you need to take the high ground first. So I went Widow and I hit loads of headshots. And before you go into them comments, mechanical plays are not necessarily just DPS, it's just that they can be DPS, but they could also be tank, and I specifically got FREEDO to send me over some of his Orisa footage, because it shows a lot of great examples of this. FREEDO does an incredible job when his Ana's dead or out of line of sight in using his shield to break line of sight for the enemy team, and also keep going back and forth like you would a Winston bubble so people can't hit him. This also comes coupled with the fact that he is hitting so many headshots and doing so much damage, all this time receiving minimal healing. When you play Orisa, does it look like this? Refine them mechanical traits that might not be up to scratch at your current rank, because sometimes you do have to carry, and if you don't, that's why you'll be stuck where you are. This even goes for healers as well. Maybe you're playing Ana and you're not hitting enough sleep darts. You've got to practice your sleep darts. If Winston's killing you over and over and Genji's killing you over, it's not always on your team, and if you can't hit that sleep dart, maybe you need to take Moira to stay alive a little longer.
Holy, you're crazy, Ana.
These big mechanical plays are an integral part of playing ranked, and you're going to need to practice these skills and VOD review them, and also be realistic. Am I good enough to mechanically carry to the next rank? Maybe not right now, so I need to go and play some DM or something. It's very important that you get these mechanical skills down when you're trying to rank up, because you have to make them little plays. Now, as you've probably noticed, most of the things in this video are talking about how it's better to play the game with a friend or have them help you out. Well, this last tip as well is really important, and that is the avoid meta. When you're playing with your buddy, you can avoid everyone on a team. So if you get a really horrific game, the people on your team are also going to lose the same SR as you. So if you avoid them, they're probably all going to be on the enemy team, or at least a few of them, and then you can farm them back. And the other thing about playing with a friend is you can create some of the synergies that don't necessarily work out in your solo queue games, whether it be Ana and Genji or Hog and Orisa, which, by the way, I mentioned earlier is the easiest, most devastating combination in the game in this current ranked season. Seriously. Pick Hog and Orisa with a friend. Just go in a private match if you need to warm it up first. All you got to do, Orisa, is right click, and all you've got to do, Hog, is aim at that and press shift, and you get a free kill, and a lot of the time that's going to win the fight. If you're better at that than the enemy Orisa and Hog, you're going to devastate people in rank. Seriously, it is amazing. Do it and learn it, and if you're in silver right now and you do that with a friend, I'm telling you, you'll get gold in a few days. It's so good. Just go check it out, go learn it, and optimize all them mechanical things in order to improve your game. So let me know what you think, guys, to any of this in the comment section down below, and you're going to want to drop a like, as it does does help us out and lets us know that you enjoyed the content. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. We should have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.